Hey, it's David with Poe Run, and today I need to go down and check why one of our two cisterns is not holding water or holding as much water as it should. Some of you or most of you probably don't know that we get all of our water from two spring boxes, one of which is up near the house. There's about a 500-gallon cistern attached to that, and that gets will get pumped up to the house. So we do have, as they call it, running water at the house, and it is pressurized and hot water there. But when that runs low or we have a problem, we need to gather water for some reason, whether it's watering the garden or the animals or what have you, we always go down to our lower spring cistern to get water from there, because it has never run dry for us, and that is also according to the previous owners who put it in. It runs, or it collects water from a spring box that actually is in the middle of our holler. And for those of you who aren't from West Virginia or haven't been to West Virginia, a hollow is pronounced holler. And a hollow is basically a ravine or wherever water typically runs in them. Might not, just depends. But we have a hollow, and that's where our spring water comes from, or comes out of the ground, I guess I should say, from higher up. So I'm just walking down, and we'll go have a look and see how that's all connected and see how we might be able to fix it. It's been raining, but this is normal wetness down here. When it's really dry, you can still see a little bit of puddling here and there, but it's not, flowing. So there's actual flowing water down here. This is an overflow tank that we have not been using. It was basically pretty nasty. This is the overflow from the cistern itself, and it has not been flowing for quite some time. So picking it up, looks like I might be getting some drips out of it, which is actually unique. So that's good. We've been getting a lot of water, so I guess that's not surprising, but it's actually full. Or, from the overflow, if you're getting water coming out of your overflow, it is full. This was our attempt at shiitake mushrooms, but unfortunately, I don't know if we got the wrong logs, but a lot of the wax that we put as caps on the plugs didn't stay, and it kind of disintegrated. There's a couple of lines here coming out of the water, out of the side of the hill. Those go up into the cistern, which is buried. One's the overflow and one's connected to the bottom. The one connected to the bottom of the tank obviously can drain water out of it, but the overflow is also important for water coming out of the top. And up here a little bit further, not too much further, is the actual spring box. And again, as I mentioned, the spring box is actually just sitting in the middle of this little, some would call it a creek bed. But it is, all this water running through here is from a spring. We have probably 4 notable springs on the property. This particular one, though, does not dry up. So there's always some moisture in here. What they've done is basically piled a couple of rocks up. There's a spring box on the backside just underneath that bucket. And then there is a 1-inch tube coming out of that. And that basically flows back down the hill into and fills up the 500-gallon cistern. I believe it's 500 gallons, it's kind of an assumption. And that is then where we can get water from. And it had been completely empty a few days, or probably right at the beginning of winter. It was empty, but you could hear water running into it, and you can hear it drip in, but it wasn't filling, and so somewhere it was, as they say, leaking. So I'm going to be quiet and you can hear it. So that proves to me that water is flowing into it, and if there's water coming out of the overflow, then I also know the tank has got to be full, right? Right. Bought a new coupler to replace one that's been leaking. That is how water gets down here for us to be able to collect into a tank. And in fact, actually, if you go back when we were doing our block fill video, I came down and gathered water. Okay, so here, this line that is here is the main supply line coming out. And this one spot is an old Union that probably the line was cut or whatever. It's leaking pretty good. So if it's just dripping, but you know, it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and that could be greater than the amount of water going into the cistern. So we're going to take this off. It's going to be a little messy, meaning I'm going to get wet. But that's the way it goes, and then we'll get this back together again. Hopefully. Seal. That's right. Some of that is honestly from the and as you can tell, it's already 99% better. And it's not leaking. And that's that. And we are back in business. Disconnect that in the winter and leave this open just a little bit so that it doesn't freeze or freeze too badly. And we have another valve right here. This is just leaning up against the tree. So water comes out of here. That's how we get water at Poe Run. You guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. If you like some of our content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And you guys, we'll see you soon.